So in this video, I'm going to do a backtest with me, but instead of it being on TradingView, which is in my opinion now currently outdated with all the software that is currently out, I'm going to do it on Forex Tester 5, and I'm going to do a smart money concept backtest with me. You will understand how I look for my bias. You will also understand how I think about liquidity in the markets and how liquidity is generated in order to then fuel the bigger moves. And you'll see me taking one loss, you'll see me also taking one winner, and you'll see my mindset through it, and also my opinion on how it would affect me in the live market, because this is something very important, which is, first of all, TradingView, you don't really have a realistic perspective of what happens in the market, because the candles, the software itself on TradingView is terrible for backtesting. It's made for analyzing data and not for backtesting. While if you want to take this serious, it's better for you to get a backtesting software such as Forex Tester 5, which is the one that I'm going to show you currently in this video. If you want to get 10% off, then make sure to check the top of the description. There's going to be an affiliate link that with my code will give you 10% off, and it will also help me out. But this is actually something that I'm really using lately in order to backtest, because I want to have the realest market conditions possible when I'm backtesting, because you definitely know when this happens, when you have 200% return on your backtesting in 1 year, but then in the live market you have 20, and you're like, what is going on? And this is because, one, the backtesting might not be realistic, and two, you might be sabotaging yourself by, for example, putting some trades that you wouldn't actually put on. So this software is going to give you the most realistic trading environment. So let's get onto the charts. If you've already set up your Forex Tester 5, or if you've seen a video about Forex Tester 5, then make sure to jump into this timestamp where I go over how to set it up, because I know that some YouTubers have also made a sponsorship with Forex Tester 5 and they've talked about this. And if you want to jump straight into the backtest with me, then there you go. Yeah, last but not least, once again, check the link in the description, 10% off, it will help me out, and thank you Forex Tester for sponsoring this video. So let's get onto the screen. Okay, so once you get Forex Tester, make sure to start a new project, and since I already have SMC, let's put SMC Test. Let's start with 100k balance, exactly. Then I only trade euro dollar, so that's the only data that I need. You have data for stocks, you have data for indices, you have data for forex, you have data for basically everything that you might want to test. So make sure to see what you want to test and, well, see if you can test it here. Then I always use 1 minute and tick data. The most amount of data I can get from a tester, that's exactly what I want. Then one thing that is important is to maybe here the testing period, putting it maybe from the beginning of 2022, for example, and I will explain why. So let's put January of 2022 until like the 30th of September, and you'll see why. Okay, now we have the data, daylight savings, European. Start testing from the first date in the range. You'll put no, and the reason why is because if you put yes here, you are not going to see anything from the candles behind. So I can even create it, and then my editor will cut this. So if we create this, what is going to happen is that when you come onto the daily, you will not see any price prior to this. So make sure to put the starting date from the data way before the time frame that you want to test. So there's definitely a quicker way to do this, but basically I'm just going to start a new project, SMC Test 1, same exact things, euro dollar from the beginning of 2022 until the 30th of September. Again, you want everything, you want the tick data, you want everything. GMT +1, because that is London, right? So London close. No, I'll just put GMT +1. Then set the start date, and let's say that, for example, we want to test August. So we just come here onto the 1st of August. Boom, start testing after creation. And then this is one thing that I need you guys to understand, is that if you enable forward testing only mode, this is going to really help you to be disciplined with yourself and to actually have good data behind your backtesting. And why? Because it will not allow you to go back and put trades that were not there. We know that we like to do that. Let's be honest, like when we are on TradingView, we like to do that once in a while. So if you put only forward testing mode, it will not allow you to go back. So you can also delete this, but basically if you start testing after creation, it's just going to start testing right after, but you can then click on start. Okay, now it's going to start testing directly. You can just click on the start. So now just to finish off with the setup, you can just see all the settings that I currently have here on settings to all charts. I don't have any hotkeys just because I got so used to doing it on TradingView. So if I want to use the bar forward, then I just do it here and multi-time frame here. And if I want to draw anything, I just come up here. But you can put hotkeys, which will make it easier. Now, one thing that I really like about Forex Tester is the fact that you can, for example, play on the 15 minute in the middle of the day. So let's just put some bars forward. Let's say that now it's at 326. When you go onto the daily, it still stays at 326, while if you are on TradingView, that's the exact opposite. If you play a little bit of the day and you go into the daily candle, the whole daily candle is going to be there. How is that supposed to be good for your trading? That's not real life market conditions, and that's why, and I'm genuinely saying this, that I prefer backtesting on a software just because it's going to give you this freedom of doing the multi-time frame analysis and seeing how the monthly started, how the weekly started, daily, 4 hour. You can see all this in basically as if it was real time. So this is going to help you with the real live market conditions. But yeah, now I'm just going to do a little bit of backtesting. So let's go onto the daily. I'm just going to do the drawings, then I'll get you along to say what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's look at what I'm looking for in the market. We have this big solid move down continuing with the momentum. So we have high, low, high, low, high, and now we're looking for further lows or just a high to form. You can already see this on the 4 hour. Is we have sell side liquidity laying below here. So once we break lower, I actually believe that we are going to break solidly below the low and target these lows. But you also have a lot of buy side liquidity right here. We've reacted once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, 8 times from the supply zone, meaning that there are so many stops laying above here. So I'm expecting this to break higher, break lower, and then give us setups shorts. So let's look at the 15 minutes. What I could expect is us breaking higher, grabbing the liquidity, and then breaking lower, or just breaking lower from here, but we'll see. One thing that is good about Forex Testers too is that if you resume, you're going to see the candles forming exactly as if they were forming in the live market, which once again is not the same with TradingView. TradingView is bullshit for backtesting. So let's see, we're breaking lower, but we're not breaking with much momentum. It's currently 12. Okay, now we're breaking higher once again, grabbing some liquidity here. If we have an explosive move down, I'll look for shorts. And you can either do this, but I normally just put the bar forward. But resume is going at basically the exact same pace. Okay, new day. We sweep the liquidity of the highs. Now if we go onto the 4 hour, you see we've just swept all the liquidity that laid above here. And we're forming this small ascending channel. So if we start breaking lower, I will look for shorts right there. So let's see if we start breaking lower. Okay, we start breaking lower, we break below this. And since we've broken below this, I think that all this is going to be used as liquidity. Because if the bullish momentum was to continue, we wouldn't chalk on the 4 hour. But we'll see. Back to the 15 minutes. Okay, we have a little bit of a range. Okay, let's go on to the 5 minutes. Let's see if price reacts from this zone right here, where we now had an accumulation. If it does, I will go onto the 1 minute. So if we come up here, I'll go into the 1 minute to see if there's a possible trade. Okay, we've just mitigated this. Let's go into the 1 minute. No chalk as of now. So now I'm looking to see, and let me put this here. So just a little bit more space. I'm looking to see if we either sweep above this and maybe even above these highs, start breaking lower, and then have the possible trade bearish. But now my bias is heavily bearish. Okay, now again, you see this sell side liquidity forming. Every time we're moving higher, it's very corrective. So all of this is going to be explosive eventually when we start breaking lower. Okay, we broke lower. Yeah, now we swept the liquidity, which I like. We swept the liquidity above here. I'm still looking for an impulsive move down. Something like this, yeah. Okay, so we'll see if we approach that high right there. Okay, we started breaking lower, which is fine. It doesn't mean that we've missed the trade, because now you have this right here, this range right here, which swept the highs right here and then started breaking lower. So we'll see. I'll put a pending order, a sell limit, calculate with risk 1 at price. Let's put the sell limit right here with the stop loss above this high, a 5 pip stop. And we are going to target, I'm just going to put the take profit right here, but we are going to target this low right here for a 1 to 4. So let's see. Okay, we were tagged in. Okay. Okay, now that we are ranging within here, just remove this. If we are ranging above here, it's possible that we sweep these highs and then my stop loss gets hit. But that's fine because we can look for further trades, or I guess not. We'll see. Okay, so we can still pull back into here. So we can still pull back into here. So I'm going to keep my stop loss where it currently is. And as you can see right here, you can also have the experience, the MT4 experience of seeing the profit running or not running. Of course, you're not going to have the same emotion as if this was your money that you're currently trading, but at least you'll get all the stats that are needed to then have a profitable edge. So it was running around 2%. It's pulling back, but again, it's possible that it just pulls back to here before moving down. Okay. Pull back. Are we going to take a loss? Yeah. Okay. So we've now taken the loss there, which was unfortunate. But now we've mitigated this extreme right here. We mitigated this extreme. We have this chalk. So once again, I'm going to put an order, a sell limit, a 1% trade. Let's put it here with a stop loss, 3 pip stop. The price here, 2.5. Okay, and take profit. Let's go on to the pending orders. Take profit, just the same place. Okay, let's see. Okay, and now again, this is why it's important, and this is a message to myself, not to get too emotional when you are trading live. Now, of course, if I would have moved it to break even live, I would probably not have emotions into trading this setup right here. But since I took a loss, I don't know how I would have reacted to this live, but this is something that I can then go onto my data that is going to be right here on the left and understand, okay, do I want to move to break even? Do I not want to move it to break even? And yeah. And now all this can be used as liquidity to break this low, because we're once again failing to break these highs. That's what I still like about this trade short. And again, not to forget, we had the 4-hour chalk. If we zoom in on the 4-hour, we have this 4-hour solid chalk. Gone to the 15-minute, also bearish, currently at this supply right here. So let's see how price reacts. Okay, let's go into open positions. This one is currently running 7%. So let's move it to profit. Is this more than 10R? Maybe. Okay. Just a small pullback, which is still going to use this as liquidity. And are we going to break this low? Okay, we broke this low. We ended up with, this was a 10R. So you come to the account history, you can see 1 10R and 1 loss. You can also see it right here. Total trades 2, profit trades 1, loss trades 1, net profit, ROI, profit factor, max drawdown, average loss, average profit. All this is going to help you to then build onto your edge, because you'll see, okay, maybe I have a low strike rate and my risk to reward is very big. What if, let me think about this. What if I go over my trades, I see how much were my winners running? Because let's say that right here on the charts again, that this would have pulled back to break even or taking me out for a loss. Then this was running 5R. I could have maybe changed all my take profits to 5R, and how would that affect my strike rate? How would that affect my average risk to reward? So that's what I like to do when I'm backtesting. Then I also have all this on Notion, and if you want me to make a separate video on my Notion template for backtesting, which is going to be completely free, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, then all this, I just take the screenshots, I put it onto Notion. You can come on here, you can take a screenshot, it's going to save it onto your computer. And yeah, overall, this is how I'm currently doing the backtesting and making sure that I keep up to date with the market. And again, comparing with TradingView, Forex Tester 5 is a 10-0, and they're not asking me to say this, by the way. It's just genuinely that I would always prefer to use a tester instead of TradingView for backtesting, even though TradingView is so clean to backtest. Once you get used to this, then this will be better. I can promise you that. But yeah, this is my backtesting process. This was the first time that I was seeing this price action too in this Forex Tester 5. So I hope you guys enjoyed also seeing the thought process that I have when I'm taking these kind of trades. If you want to check Forex Tester out, make sure to check the link in the description. It's going to give you 10% off, and it's also going to help me out. Thank you Forex Tester for sponsoring this video, and I will see you next week. Peace.